Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Transport Fever 2 series where we are in Cuba, which we're now witnessing one of the brand new train lines which is actually delivering food to mats right now from this new food route that we got set up and created in the last episode. Now, it looks really good. It works really well. I wouldn't say it's 100% efficient, but things seem to be going to plan. We did a lot of improvements last episode, which kind of encouraged us to upgrade all the ships to make them even bigger so they can carry more goods. And we're bringing wood back from the USA so we can then turn it into planks to then take the planks back to hopefully produce more machines. Now, things are stepping up a notch. We've broken new records on income. We're up to 217 million in a single year in income right now. But we need to become a little bit more efficient. We need to make the lines that are losing money make money. So that way, boys, we have no stresses in Cuba. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So we're going to start by simply making the food route a little bit more efficient because there is a few little problems we'll get onto in just a moment. I want to see if we can make the other lines be profitable. And I want to change the ore route down here. And I'll explain why in just a moment. If you're enjoying the series, smash that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new, so you do get notified when more episodes do come out. So let's start with this food line then. We have this set up where it picks up the grain all the way down, produces food. Then we've got a food train that comes back down here, goes round to connect to the main line to go up to Matt. Now, I eventually want a second one that goes all the way to Havana. But we have a little bit of an issue. Well, I won't say it's an issue. It's something that can be a little bit of an annoyance. The line that comes out of the food factory will have to share the same tracks with the grain, which is not a problem, and the food trains. There is moments where it would slow it down. Now, is that a problem for me? It could potentially become one, and what I could do is I could run separate tracks running down for the food, so it doesn't have to interact with the grain line, which means slightly upgrading and updating this road. Now, I'll only do it if I can run train tracks, another set of 2 here. Right, that seemed to have worked. Let me just pause for a second. Can I run this in? No, this is where we're going to have the issues then. So, is there a way in which I can make this work? This is completely over-engineered. We don't need 4 sets of lines running down. But as I add on to it, you never know what we could do. You just never know. Because I might eventually have a second train picking up the grain. Then there's constant movement. Then there's going to be constant stopping and a starting. So from what I can see here, it only seems to be the train line there, the high-speed line, that is the fundamental issue with getting over to this side. So what we're going to do, we're going to delete it a little bit. Right, delete to you. Delete. The game is running so slow trying to delete a little bit of train track right now. Right, so bridge pillar collision issue there. Let me see if I can now do the rest. So if I put you in and then get the high speed to pass its way down, I think we might need to go a little bit further now to maintain. What is going on here? It doesn't like what we're trying to attempt, does it? It really doesn't. It really does not. Let me see if I can delete a little bit of you. Oh, no, you. You. Okay, I've had to delete that just so I've deleted the road is what I've deleted. Whoopsies. Right, now can I run the high-speed train going all the way across? Right, this is not going to plan already. Oh, no. Right, there we go. So if I run it directly to where it needs to run to, can I just slightly raise it? I can. And then that no longer becomes an issue, but there's still a bridge pillar collision issue. I wonder if I now shorten this. The bridge pillar issue is a few spots, but mainly just there. Right, what if I raise it up slightly and then run it all the way in? Yes. Right. Somehow that's worked out, but I don't think I'm going to get it to work here. Right, maybe we should have played around unless I do it in smaller segments. Sometimes building in smaller segments can work, and sometimes it just doesn't work. Right, we might need to go a little bit higher on this. Right, come on, delete, delete, delete. And I'm wondering if it's a good idea to go right to there and then across. So change the bridge. Interesting. Now, is there a different speed to these bridges? Oh, that bridge is a 300. Okay, we might be able to play around with a different bridge style now. To give us different pillars, different collisions, different stuffs. So that's now a high-speed bridge. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's now worked. Changing the style of bridge seemed to have worked. Right, okay, so that's now back in. I can kind of go back to normal now, that's fine. Delete this to there, to where we're then going to bend these around. So it's kind of going to have to try and somewhat maintain a speed. And that's where it does get a little bit difficult. But at the same time, there's only so much it can do. It's slowing down and going around a bend anyway. So that all works then. I've now got to then delete this road, as it's no longer going to work in this regards. And delete that down to there. Delete this just to here for a minute. And then I'm going to delete all this train track here. And we're going to adjust how it all then leads in. So delete you, delete you. And that should be perfectly fine. So that's going to run into there. That's going to run into there. This is so over-engineered for this, but I know this is going to eventually expand in the future. So this will kind of save our bacon moving forward. Very good. Now, obviously, this is going to run into them set of train tracks here now. And we have to build a whole new set of platforms. Right, why is that not snapping in? What is going on here? For some reason, it decided it doesn't want to kind of fully snap in. It's having one of those moments, isn't it? It is having one of those moments. So let's now extend this by another set of platforms. And this will allow us to keep everything separate, to run super efficient. No one getting tripped up over one another. It's basically I'm taking one less line off the route, which just makes us a little bit easier to get to. So run that into there. Run that into there. And of course, we need to do Chrissy Crossies, which I'll do here and here. Because you never know the length of the trains. Just cover our back slightly. Here. And, excuse me. Wait, why can't I get you in? Wow, okay. Well, that doesn't want to play ball, does it? Alright, there we go. We've now got it in. How dare you, Folio? How dare you right now? Right, that's all in. Let me sort out the signals there and there. Just for the end. I've got to redo the lines right now to tell them which side they need to be on. But let me just replicate these real quick. Right, we had them there, which we can now get rid of because they're no longer merging. It's their own different set. And that runs to there. I suppose I could have like another one just here and here. Just for the sake of it. So, the line running in, which is the Cologne food right now. We're going to manage this line real quickly. And in Cologne... no, this is Matt's West. Cologne grain, sorry. This is what it is. Right, 3 and 4. Switch it over to there. Wait, hold on. Have I done this right? I have, yes, right? And then the other issue is on the food line. Yeah, there we go. Manage the line. Oh, no, this is the vehicle line, right? Yeah, because I've deleted the road. Of course it's the vehicle line because I've deleted the road. Right. Am I bringing this road back into play right now? Because it was... I did like the idea of this road. And I thought that's what originally we're going to have the vehicles run on. But as many things, no was the answer. I'm going to bring it to there and I'm going to turn it in like this. Just for the funsies. And that puts us back to normal then. The food line to Matt's is already pretty much set up. Uninterrupted services right now. Now, what that allows me then to do is to then add a second route that then goes all the way to Havana. So this food factory is going to be feeding Colon, Matt's, and Havana. Nice. So another new line from here to here. Make sure that it utilizes both sides. Both sides. Make it, there we go. Change the name of it real quick. Havana food. Easy enough, boys. Easy enough. And then I'm going to replicate the same train that we're using, which is this one. So if I manage this vehicle and duplicate it, the duplicated train will go on a Havana food instead, which that appears... I think it appears it's going to come out of here, right? Or is there a closer one nearby? Oh, of course. One is right here. It's right there. Right, that should now be quite interesting. So you should see these. These are already pretty much maxed out. The one of them is. This one should then max out with the additional food being delivered. And these food factories, they're doing what they need to do, but they should start to level up soon as well. And then we should be rocking and rolling. Nice. So that takes care of the food situation then. We've got 3 cities now all being fed by food. And they'll then slowly start to grow. Perfect. So now I want to look at the ore line. And I did mention at the start that I want to replace it. Reasons being is, all of a sudden, the ore line is a huge money loser. I mean, he wasn't doing great previously before, but it's got to go from there to there, but it has to go quite a long way, which trips up in a few areas. There is 4 trains, which if I can take 4 trains off going through the complexity of this, that would be quite beneficial. And we're bringing the coal, because it's going to the steel plant there, we're bringing the coal from over here, which there's 2 ore mines over there, so then it becomes equal distance. And I think that will be a lot better to kind of work with. Yes. Only issue then lies the fact that we upgraded all of this here to kind of compensate for the double lines. Now, with that not being the case, we only have the ore line running down there. So in theory, right, we can sort out a double slip system here, which will allow us to kind of then move it over to the other side. We'll still keep it separate, I reckon. I don't think we're going to make them share all 4 sides for the sake of getting it all connected. It just kind of goes against what we've already pretty much set up. So what we'll do, tracks, and we'll sort out a double slip system here. So drop you in there. And I'm hoping... Have I gone too far with it, you reckon? No. It's about there. Right, double slips all the way around. And then all I've got to do is build the train station over here, which we can actually run it to this road, which is completely fine. Making sure that we obviously don't go anywhere near the high-speed rail. Super long, and we'll do 2 sets of tracks. And they don't even touch the factories, I've just realised. Right, they don't even touch the factories. So if I technically delete this and delete you, right, and then just see what I can do here with actually getting to a level. We'll do the rest of the road momentarily, because we are going to be eating into the ground, and we are going to end up creating a tunnel to connect to that train line. So then with the road in question, I think I delete back a little bit. So that will run to there. Then I've got to somehow get this up to there. Which that works. It works. That's all it needs to do, is just simply work. Right. So this in question then, running up to this point. So if I just bring it to where it's borderline at the same level. And then we'll delete back a bit to then merge in the train track. So it creates our tunnel, which is what we want. Bring that to there. We're then just going to figure out how we then connect the bend in. So we know we've got the gradient leading up. So I can delete back as far as I need to. And I know the gradient now works. I'm intrigued to see how slow the train's going to travel up here, though. That's going to be interesting. Now, the connecting point is here. I can't come off that, unfortunately. So we're going to have to end up doing something that turns just before it. Now, if I ran all the way to it, that works. I'm just hoping this here works. So let's run first with it and wait for this train to pass through. So the connection's just there. So all I've got to do now then is just rejig everything in terms of the signals. So that signal can stay there completely fine as it's about to enter in there. That stays there. So the signals that I've got to now set up are that goes there, that waits there, that waits there, and then we'll have one that waits here. And then that's technically all I need to do for this area because the other signals don't... I mean, you could argue this signal is not needed here. Allow them to pass to get past this section so it's not blocking. And then you're okay. So it all happens on that junction, which could become quite a busy junction, but providing we do everything all correctly, I don't see it being a major issue moving forward. Right, we're going to do some smoothie. Up all the sizes. Nice. And just do the road section around the station. I won't do around the mines because there's no point me doing that. I have got to set up the double slip and do some signals. I say double slip, it's actually just a normal crisscross. Oh, I don't like that. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete back. And go from there to there. Like, we can visually see it. And then I do my crisscross. Oi, come on. What do you mean too much curvature? What are you talking about, game? Right, smoothie. Smoothie. Right, quick little signals, and then we can completely switch over then at this point. The ore trains. So all I've got to do for these, you can see how this could become quite busy. But I'd rather that, it will actually make money than the alternative. So the ore route, manage the line. What we're now doing is getting rid of the signal marks first. And it goes to the south, so the halt is up there. We're going to get rid of you. And then we add the station over here that utilizes both sides. So I just got to double check now. It comes down there. It merges over on the double slip system. And then it should maintain the center, providing... Oh, it does change at a single point. So I think after the peanut area here, I think what we need to do is make it hit the waypoints on the way back. So there. Because it's the cargo bypass that we're trying to keep it to. So it goes through there, runs all the way down the center, and then turns off there. And on the way back, I make it hit the waypoints again. So that's why we implemented the waypoint, so we can control what side or what lane or what kind of track it's actually using. Makes life very easy. So it should maintain the middle until it has to merge over the passenger line to skedoodle down. Very good. Very good, he says. Very good. So that should then work, but it might have an issue now with my current ore trains, because they won't know what they're doing. Like, for example, this one now needs to be turned around to head back. And that one, we have to turn that one around to head back, because they're a little bit confused on where they now need to go. So there's a little fast forward then to get these ore trains back into fashion. Because they ultimately just do not know what's happening. Right, it's waiting for a free path, which that can then go. So that's gone in, and that's the first train it's going to leave to head in that direction. So that should take the route like normal. There we go. And I think that signal there is not in a good place. I don't think any of these signals here are good, apart from the one coming in that way. Yeah. Right. So that will then make the ore go on this platform. It will take a while for delivery numbers to kind of, the rate of delivery to kind of increase and get back to normal. But that means there's 4 less trains utilizing all of this. So it should make all the trains around here that still continue to use it a little bit more efficient, because there's 4 less for them to now battle for position. So that should work out very well on our behalf. So hopefully that becomes a lot more efficient. We make a lot more money because of that. I'm hoping the new food routes become profitable. The only thing that's going to make them not become profitable is the rate of delivery and how much they're delivering. So ignore the ore route for now. We're going to ignore that. Now, the Pinar del Rio coal line, why is that losing money? Do we need to reevaluate these? So there's 4 trains, but they don't seem to be doing pretty well. There's a lot of coal available. I think what we'll do is replace them for the same trains we're using on the ore line. So I'm not sure what each one carries. 306. That seems like a lot of ore, doesn't it? It does seem like a lot of ore. So 306 gives us, I mean, it could be the engine. I'll stick to a 306 seems quite a lot. I might just do, let me just do 216. And let me see what we're doing for the ore trains here. 216. Okay, we've gone for 216 on each. They should be faster and more pulling power because of the engine on them. So that's what could have been the issue on the coal trains. They're too big and too heavy with an underpowered engine pulling them. So we'll see what they now do. The Mazda Sancti, that's a passenger line that hasn't been doing too great. There's a few passengers there. But they want to utilize the high-speed rail line because that's the whole point of it. It's super speedy. It is a case of, obviously, grow these towns a bit more. You'll have more passenger kind of scenario. So, is it worth reducing this to only 1 train? I think what I'll do is I'll get rid of 1. And I'll replace this. And I could go a multi-unit diesel. But that's going to be so expensive. How much is that a year to run? So I was doing 2 of them for 3.959. I could do the Zephyr here. Or the Alco. See, the Zephyr carries 52. Let me try that just for the funsies. We'll try that, okay? We'll try it. Where is the train? Multi-unit train. but also, more importantly, it's quite cheap to run and maintain, so that should make that line be a bit more efficient by making more money. Now, Pina del Rio fruit train it does make money. I think we just caught it on the wrong time. The food trains, our brand new ones, will take time before they make money because I've got to wait for them to kind of build up the backlog of food available. So other than that, we've got the 2 shipping routes now. So this is my next big issue. Now, I know we replaced the shipping routes with obviously the ability to make money both ways. Which one's this one? This is the one that makes money both ways, bringing wood back, which also includes taking planks back as well. So all the ships on the way back right now are pretty much filled to the brim, which is good news. It is good news. So that means we are delivering quite a bit. Is there any more we could deliver? There's actually quite a bit still here on this platform. So this route, let me manage the vehicles, because we're unlocking new vehicles, by the way. It might be a case of replacing it for a higher capacity. So we're using these Peterbilts, which carry 25. These carry 35. So it's an extra 10 per vehicle. An extra 100 capacity on the whole line. Right, let's see what that does in the long run. That'll give us a lot more wood to then export. Now, we've only got one farm over here, so there's only so much this can do. There is only so much that can do. So, that line in question then, the US export line, it's the brown one, right? This one here? No, it's the other one. That is on the edge of making money. It is all just dependent on when. So ships are coming in. There is like a period where no ships go anywhere. But that's now making profit, that line. And there's about to be another ship entering as well. So that's okay. I think it's now starting to pay out dividends for us. So we are getting somewhere with that line. So I don't think that's no longer an issue. The other route, though, that could be an issue. Now I know it's taking cigars back. Right? I know it's taking cigars back. We got a lot stored there. It's all okay. Picking up the good stuff. Whatnot. But it also should be bringing or distributing steel over there. Do you know what it could be as well? Because we've now just completely changed the ore line, it can't ship steel, so that's going to be an issue for some time. Let's leave that. Havana food, Pina del Rio food. Ooh, what's happening with you? Have you dropped down recently? Are we okay with the food production here? We've got a lot of food on the table here. So these little grain trains right now, how much is these free a year on the line? Let me actually select the actual train itself. So the train itself costs us 2.12 million. So the line should be 6. 2.12 million. Bear that in mind, okay? Bear that in mind. So a diesel unit, if I was to go with something pretty cheap, we could go... this is a tough one now. I could go for the EMD. Let me see with the EMD. So that's 800,000. Now, each one of these trains carries 216. So cargo-wise, we need to be able to have the gondolas, which are 200,000. So that's 8, 10, 12, 14... 16, 18, 20, 22 at a 126 capacity. 22, 24, 26, 28, 3 million. 3 billion too. For the same capacity, shorter train. Right. Let me see if I can make the engine a bit cheaper. So let's go by running costs. So that one I selected was here. 800,000, 700. I don't know if that will be adequate enough. Because the 3.5s we got there, I can't remember what they were. Let's try that train. Okay, that takes like 400,000 off. That, it's all dependent on how powerful it is pulling away. But the issue is it's still carrying the same amount. But could I afford to make them a little bit bigger now? Like an extra 1 or 2 carriages is... We'll do an extra 2 carriages per. I just don't know if that diesel engine's powerful enough. Okay, I know it's too long. I can tell it's too long right now. Oh, no. Right, hold on. I can tell it's too long. So I can make it work here. By just increasing the platforms. And then down here, what I'll have to do is just pull in the train track just to there. Right, that's got the same issue at the minute, only because of how it's been set up. Now, does it pull away okay? Would we be a bit happy with that pull away? Do you know what? That's actually not too bad. So it's an extra 2 carriages per train. I wonder what dent that would do over time. Would it be adequate enough to keep us supplied? I don't know. I don't know, guys, on this one. We seem to be delivering the next train before we've run out. So that works in our favour. It's a constant supply then of food. It's then reevaluating these food trains after. But I have a suspicion, though, these are going to be losing money this line now. Because how more expensive it is to run. But that could provide us with more food. Right, we'll leave it for a minute. We'll leave it for a minute right now, okay? We'll leave it for a minute. Now, is there any new routes that we could take advantage of that would make us more money? Now, I know we have this alcohol route here. And Cologne, Mats, even Havana all require alcohol. Is that something we could do? Now, the alcohol plant is just here. This is where we produce it. So we could drive a vehicle into Cologne. That's completely fine. But would I drive a vehicle to Mats, or would I train it all the way up at that point? That's like the next set of questions we got to think of. I think I could drive it to Cologne, then we train it to Havana, and then into Mats. So, ultimately, it would have been nice to integrate an extension on the train station, but I could build a separate train station for the exporting of all of that. Let me go nice and big, super long. I'm going to pull it just there. Now, for the drop-off point for the alcohol, that is within the vicinity of the alcohol what's needed, so that works out. New line. Dropping off at the same place. Now it's alcohol, so it's like a goldeny colour, isn't it? I mean, that's not the right colour we'll pick. It's like a brown colour. Unless I go for like the yellow. Oh, it's a tricky one. It's like the colour of food, really, isn't it? No. Not really. I'm trying to see what colour it would be. We'll just go with that one. That's fine. Cologne. Alcohol. Zodiac. Learn to spell. Learn to spell. And I don't think we need many vehicles because I don't think there's that much demand for alcohol in Cologne. Only 36. So we'll buy the vehicle from over here rather than placing down an additional one. And we need to distribute alcohol, so it will be... Yeah, with this truck here that does 30 at a time, I think even that will be way too big. But that'll be interesting to see what happens. So that's placing alcohol down on the station now. So that gives us another area. So that means then we'll need to actually then have more distilled alcohol, or more alcohol in general, being delivered. So there's not a lot on this platform. So what's stopping this from producing more? We need more grain and more sugar deliveries. Right, the trains on this route. Let me select all of them and edit them. I think, because we're doing a little bit of everything, I think what we do is we replace one of them for being a full-on out pure, just only carry sugar and stuff and grain. And that individual split there kind of outweighs it. Maybe. There's also 2 farms over here we can also deliver as well. So that could be something that we probably look towards doing first. But where's the train that only picks up those goods? It's this train coming in now. So let's just watch this for a second. Let's just watch this train. And that's got a load to drop off. Right, we'll come back to in just a minute, because I've just noticed this train here comes back quite empty, but then goes back quite full. I think it's because we haven't had enough deliveries of planks yet for these numbers to be high on the transport. That's what it is. Right, so we've had our delivery here, but we kind of go through it pretty quickly until this next train that comes along, which is pure dedicated to the grain and sugar. So that might give us the kick up the booty right now to have adequate deliveries. So that drops off. It's like having 2 trains in one delivery then at that point. Which then this train's on the way. So I want to see if it runs out by the time this next train comes along. Because it is quite a big factory. It's completely maxed out, so it's hungry. And I think we need to feed it. So we don't run out by the next time this train comes. But the next train after this is the split train. So while that system does work, we're always going to have limited availability on the platform. We always are. And we're getting the sugar from here. The grain is coming from the USA. Is there anything we can bring from over here? We could bring back grain from Jamaica, but there's so much tobacco we got to bring back, it's not going to work. So having those trains is probably not the idea because we soon run out. Now, if that's what I'm kind of guaranteeing my supply on, that's not good. We're going to have to pull it from this no matter what. So we're going to vehicle it over. I think that like it makes a little bit more sense. The train that does all of it, I'm going to sell it because it doesn't make sense anymore when you think about it. So I'm going to sell that train. So there's only 2 going back and forth. And let's set up a vehicle route here now. We are slightly elevated here, so we should be able to build a nice little bridge going over. I wonder if I can do it here. So if I go there... Oh, what's going on here? So it is possible, but I don't want that style of bridge on how that looks. And maybe at the same time we do a little bit of a turn. Bring it down ever so slightly. I think that will do. So run this going across here. Run that into there. And then smoothie. All the way around, boys. All the way around. So a nice little bridge up and over. Gets us to our destination. And we've just got to drop off. We're not doing anything else apart from dropping off the goods. So a nice little truck and load stop. Yeah, we're only dropping off the goods, aren't we? Yeah. So a little truck and load stop just there. And over here, we'll place down at the very end of the road, we'll do it. To maximize the distance between. So smooth around. Let me go for a little bit of flattening. Smooth around. It's like that's now like a little bit of a bowl, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so it's such a short distance, so I don't think it will require that many vehicles, but it's a nice little top-up. It is a nice little top-up that we're going to have. So it's grain coming in, and we'll call this the... we're going to call it the CN Fugos grain truck, just so we know what it actually does. Road depot wise then, put you on the junction, and we need to carry... What is the point of these here? Is this by build date, by the way? What, these are... Oh, 30. These do 35. Grain. Right, I'll buy 2 to begin with. And then we'll add more as time... Oh, new cargo ships, I think, have just come in. We'll add more as time goes on. And it should then just nicely tick along with goods. It's all dependent on the availability of the grain that drops. Now, it should be a lot, to be honest with you. So I think I could probably instantly double up on these vehicles. And then we'll just keep coming back, adding more and more to it as the time does go on. And that'll be a nice little addition of a constant delivery to tick it over to keep producing more alcohol for more distribution. So I won't do the train routes until we actually can acquire more alcohol being produced. So I won't do nothing just yet. We've got to keep making it first. So little top-ups here and there. And we've got to get these transport numbers up and it leveled up for it to start producing more as well. So that'll be a nice little kind of thing that we're going to work along with. So pause for a second. Where are we at now? So the Mats and Havana trains, they seem to be still losing money. Haven't yet turned a profit. I think it's now down to the fact that we've not got enough grain being delivered. So we might need to up this train or in return create a second train. Now I think what we're going to have to do here is we're going to have to create a slight merger here to allow us to pull a train out of that rail yard onto this. So I'm going to assume there's lots of grain available here. There is. We're going to manage this train right now. So our first thing, we'll edit it to add in No, I'd rather increase the rate. Let me scrap that. I'd rather increase the rate of deliveries than the capacity of the trains. So that would mean technically we'll then start producing double the amount of food if you've got double the amount of import going into the buildings. But we'll see. We will see. And then hopefully those food trains start making a bit of extra cash at the same time. Right, how was we doing now then with the delivery of the additional wood? I think we found the right balance almost. If anything, we could be using a bit more. These are they now getting their steel back? Any ships bringing steel? Yes, so that does mean then we are now producing steel again from this ore factory. Sorry, from the ore being delivered to the factory. Which that does work out. And that does work out. So we should be a little bit more efficient over here as well. And is this line with them trains making profit? Yes. So even with those trains, it did work out in the end. We're producing a lot more food. There's a lot more food starting to back up right now. But then again, it's only because this train is about to arrive now. No need to change the train just yet. I'll still let it run on steam for the moment. There's no issues just yet. Now, there's a lot of machines for San Cristobal. So what's going on with that line? I think this line could do with upgrading. So the finances are there. Let's edit the train first. So we're actually going to replace it first. Now, it carries multiple goods, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll do that train. That was the one before, the Russian class. We'll go this one. It's a little bit more powerful. It just keeps up with the fashion that we've currently got on the go. And then cargo-wise, we're using the box cars because of the type of goods it does deliver. That's the lighter one. It does carry 126. I'll make it carry 198. And then that is a nice little addition on the go. So it's just here right now. Do you reckon it makes sense to kind of, because it's going to merge down there to go down that route? And to merge late on? Oh, I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure. But anyway, it can carry a lot more goods, so it should shift a lot more off the platform. Pinot del Rio grain line. There's a lot of goods there waiting for it. That was interesting. Now, is this shipping route here making money? This is, and always has been. Alright, very good, very good, very good. There is a big cleanup on R3 over here. I don't know whether we need to kind of change the drop-off point up. I know I say this every episode, but I was going to plan to change that for a train. And how are we looking now, then? How are we looking now? So, Pinot del Rio to Mats. That's interesting now, because that one's borderline not making money. So, I'm going to sell a train. But then replace both of these with the Zephyrs that we've got. The... Oh, we don't have any Zephyrs. We could push into the electric market. No, I'm gonna keep it to 2 trains for now. We'll keep it to 2 trains for now. And because me changing the other one made it start making profit. So we've gone down to 2 trains on that. Okay, so with all this stuff now changing, we are seeing a little bit of a difference. The Havana food line and Matt's food line are losing large amounts of cash. But it is starting to look like there is now a lot more for them to pick up. Now, the Havana line doesn't look great. Is that because a train's only just left? 61 for the Havana line there, yes. But it's all down to also the positioning of where the food is. So you can see it's all mainly down on that side where the train doesn't really reach that. And that's where it would be beneficial idea to add a little bit of a vehicle running. Unless we look towards implementing some type of an extension that allowed us to connect, but I'm not worried. We can always add in little vehicle routes to kind of pick up the slack on where the train station does not reach. Right, I think these have been pretty solid improvements. Pretty solid improvements right now that are going to be very beneficial for many years to come in the game. Many years to come. This is now starting to be a bit more filled to the brim, so it might be a case of we can then start to look at increasing the carrying capacity. So this is going to drop off now. Very good. But I think we're going to edit this to carry a couple of more boxcars. So I'll add 2 more onto that. That might help us out. Because there is starting to be a bit more on the platform now waiting. And those factories will just keep leveling up in the background. Right, are you starting to get more what's going on over here right now with this vehicle? So there's definitely a lot more availability to pick up. So we'll then duplicate another 4. So we've got 8 in total. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And it's 100 grand a drop off as well with those vehicles. That's nice. So we're just hoping that we can kind of keep up with it. So we are wasting stuff. We can actually build a few more buildings to store some more without actually extending the physical building. So I could do 1, 2, 3, 4. So it stores more before running out. And then we'll see how we get on with this. So I think now we've got maybe 1 too many vehicle. Unless we can up the shipment numbers as well. But a little bit of a constant delivery now coming in is always a good sign. As we wait for the next train. So it should keep us producing. So when we check the charts, the loaded versus unloaded, we're looking for the loaded numbers to be increasing. That's what we're looking for on average. So there's no point changing the train until we've got too many goods on the platform. But that's almost maxed out anyway. So keeping it fed is always a good thing. I don't think this is going to have the ability, to be honest with you, to supply 3 more towns. Because I don't think we're getting enough goods coming in unless we have to kind of utilize or create a second distillery somewhere. It's probably what we're going to have to do. Right, with the slight supply of alcohol, the charts are going through the roof. This vehicle, it's probably the wrong type of vehicle. I'm going to see if I can go for a cheaper vehicle. So that was this one, which is 137 a year in maintenance. It does carry 30 though. That's half the price. So I might replace with you. Half the price, half the cargo. I'm not sold on this one yet. I'm not sold on it. We'll keep our eyes peeled. Keep our eyes peeled. Right, what's now losing money? So the alcohol line, that could change. That could change. The 2 food lines, which we are completely understandable with. I'm hoping this new mats one would do us justice. Hold on. Oh, sorry, no, that's the Peanut Del Rio food. Are you losing money? You are. Do you have a lot to pick up? So you do max out. And there is a few left over. I'm wondering if it now makes sense to... Does it even make sense to train this over anymore? Or do I add an extra cargo carriage on it? It's a difficult decision, isn't it? I could maybe look towards switching it out for a cheaper engine. So edit this. We've got the running costs. We're utilizing this one here. So I did switch out another train for that engine and it worked. So it could be a way of just reducing the running costs. It's a short distance. Doesn't need to get up to any high speeds. I think we can get away with it. I really do. Alright, load more goods picked up there. How's this doing? This is now starting to make a bit more cash. But I still believe there is an ability to add a few more carriages onto this. I'll add 2 more on. Delivering all different types of goods, which is what I like to see. And there's only now 3 lines losing money. So the Mats line got close 1 year, not the second year. Currently making profit. So hopefully that is with the extension. This nowhere near yet. And again, that's got to be down to the fact that ultimately it's too far away to deliver. So we might need to set up a little bit of a vehicle run there. So I'm not too worried about that just a minute. One of the shipping routes is now making money. The line that brings us all the way down to here, that's now officially... Okay, it's running profit at the minute. It has a few years, not so much them years, but all depends. All depends. Now, is it the rate? Is it the delivery? What could it be? I think we need to bring more stuff back from the US. And I don't know if these boats do all cargo, but there is a possibility we can bring back passengers. Yes. Or we have oil to play around with as well. Now, if I was to bring oil back this way, there's not really... Oh, actually, there is here the ability to bring back the oil, refine it into crude. No, sorry, refine the crude oil into oil to take it back to produce fuel, which then can bring back fuel for San Cristobal. Okay, there is a way we can do oil that way, which this line is the line that is losing money. And the ships heading back, there is space still available on them. There is space still available on them. Now, bring in oil this way. The refinery is over there, the closest one. There is a refinery up there. I don't think that's the way to do it, but this line is currently kind of almost making money, so that's kind of cool. So we'll have to see. It could also be just judging the ships. It could be the wrong ships at the minute, because we do have new ships we can actually utilize. So it's just judging everything. Anyway, we had a record income year of 217. We've gone up to 236. A record income year here of 243 and our previous year of 228. So we've made a lot more money recently. I'm just going to keep on pushing in that direction as well. Guys, we'll end it here. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash the like button down below. Until next time, I see you all soon. So goodbye.